Orange County isn't just sunny beaches and Disneyland, it's full of hidden gems, breathtaking views, and incredible experiences. Today we're taking you on the perfect day in Orange County, packed with stunning coastal hikes, mouth-watering food, and unique local spots to make you see the destination in a new way. Let's jump in.
First up, Sidecar Donuts.
Sidecar Donuts has been an Orange County favorite since they opened their first location in Costa Mesa in 2013. They usually have samples that you can partake in, and they often have new and seasonal flavors that you can try here. Plus, you may actually see them making the donuts in the open kitchen. No, these donuts aren't all for us. They're so good that every time we visit, people put in their requests. Don't just take my word for it though. They've been voted the best donuts in California.
Got our donuts, let's head to the beach.
From there, it's only a 7-minute drive down to Newport Beach, or a 30-minute drive if you're here in the summer. When you arrive at the pier, you can walk around the historic plaza and you can see the statue of Ben Carlson, who was a lifeguard who lost his life in the line of duty in 2014. This is a great jumping off point for exploring one of California's more than 30 piers it has along its coast. The original pier here was built in 1888, but this new one was built in 1940. This is winter in Orange County, so as you can see, there's not a lot of people on the beach, but it's one of my favorite times to be here because you get to have all the fun adventures that they have around here without all of the people. Basically, we're just looking for a good place to have our donuts with a view. All right, you guys know how much I love donuts. This is probably my favorite donut place in the United States, Sidecar Donuts, and specifically the brown butter sea salt donut. Plus, how can you beat this view while enjoying a donut?
So unlike Josh, I actually don't love donuts, but I will never say no to a huckleberry from Sidecar.
She waited until after we were married to tell me she didn't like donuts. It's one of the main issues in our relationship.
Apparently you just needed to feed me good quality donuts though.
We spent the next 20 minutes just enjoying our donuts and looking out over the beautiful coastal views. It was hard to pull myself away because even the waves looked relaxed today. It's a picturesque Southern California day today at the beach. I would have loved to just sit here for a couple hours, but we're gonna head on and explore more Orange County. From there is about a 5-minute drive to our next stop, another historic place in the city. If you're interested, you can go to the fun zone on Balboa. There's arcade games, there's the Ferris wheel and things like that. Not much going on right now, but I love coming out here to see the ferry and to ride across it. This ferry has been a staple of Balboa and Newport since it was created in 1919. That means for over 100 years it's been ferrying people across this short strip of water. It's only a 3-minute ride, but it is so fun and historic.
I have such good memories of riding this as a kid, and I'm realizing we haven't brought the twins, so gotta make that happen.
The state of California put in some new laws about all short-run ferries being zero emission, which may make it difficult for it to continue running. Hopefully they're able to work with the state to get around this, as this is such a cool historic spot I'd hate to see it go, and you can learn more about it on their website. Once you exit the ferry, you'll be on Balboa Island, which is our next stop. Balboa Island is a charming community in Orange County that has over 100 years of history. I recommend heading over to Marine Avenue, finding a place to park, and then just walking around to explore. First up, head over to the Balboa Island Museum, which is free to visit and has a lot of history that you can see on Balboa and Newport. It's really fascinating to see how much an area like this has changed in the last 100 years, and when they first started selling lots on this island, they sold for around $25. Now the minimum price to buy something here is probably at least a few million. That old museum is awesome. The pictures they had of the ferry were so cool, and then there's a lot of information about the island, about all the movie stars like John Wayne who are here. Definitely good to pop into, especially for free. If you're like Amy, then this is one of many areas in Orange County that people come to shop. There's lots of fun boutique stores and restaurants all throughout the main street. Of course, my favorite spot on the island is Sugar and Spice, home to the original frozen bananas since 1945. This is the famous spot for ice cream and frozen bananas. I tried to tell Amy, we've already had a donut. We don't need a frozen banana.
Don't tell me what I need. I want it.
This spot was supposedly the inspiration for Bluth's original frozen banana stand from Arrested Development. On a visit here now, you pick either a frozen banana or ice cream, and then you pick the dip, and then you pick the toppings.
I recommend that you choose the everything option because it has a little bit of their best toppings. That's exactly what I needed.
Donuts and bananas, what more could you want?
Mom's day out.
So of course you can walk the main street and go in the shops, but I also like coming out here and walking along the Grand Canal. I was told by some locals that the Grand Canal is not as grand as it once was, but it's still a beautiful place to walk on the island. This area reminds me a lot of the Venice canals, which is another area that I love walking around. Plus, during Christmas time, the lights over here are pretty incredible, and it's fun just to walk around the island and see all the lights. Look at Amy just living her best life, walking the Grand Canal with her banana.
It's a good day.
As we head on from Balboa Island, now's a great time to talk about the sponsor of this video, Bowlero. Bowlero has multiple locations in Orange County and nationwide. It's a great spot to visit with your family, or if you want to have a competition with your friends, or even your father.
All I can say, you can't handle me, baby.
Look, I told you guys we used to bowl. He's got his own bowling shoes that he brought with us.
If you can't play the part, at least look the part.
Let's see what happens. We started off a little slowly, but luckily we picked it up after that and loved the 2 hours we spent here. Bowlero has more than just bowling. They have arcade games, lots of different food items, and even laser tag at select locations.
That's the way you do it.
Be sure to check out the different deals they have on select weeknights, such as the unlimited bowling we're doing right now.
And there you have it. Pops loses by 12.
This was the warm-up game. This doesn't matter. This is the warm-up.
You can save 20% on your next reservation by booking through the link in the description or the QR code on the screen right here. All you need to do is fill out your name and preferred location. Let's head back to Orange County.
For our next stop, we've made it to the Civic Center to see a sculpture that Amy has never seen before. She's about to be surprised by how epic it is.
I have no idea what to expect right now.
Known as a museum without walls, the sculpture exhibit in Civic Center Park is something that was created in 2013. The sculptures are designed to rotate every 3 years, and it has a nice mile-long path that people often use for walking and recreation. I see the first peak of the sculpture. We just have to walk through to get there. And there you have it, the famous Bunnyhenge.
Is that what I'm looking at? Guess you don't need to take me to Stonehenge now.
You can see it right here in Orange County.
I'm still trying to decide if I'm excited or like slightly creeped out by all the bunnies right now.
Affectionately known as Bunnyhenge, this was a pretty controversial structure when it was installed, due to whether or not the city's finances should have been used to create it. 10 years later though, the 14 concrete rabbits are still standing strong here. I mean, this deserves a thumbs up for the video, right? To be able to see the famous Bunnyhenge of Orange County. And with that, I think it's time for lunch. Of course, we're having some fun with it in this video, but it is a cool sculpture garden to see, and it's fun to walk around. For lunch, we drove about 10 minutes inland to Uroko Cafe, one of the top-rated Pokeball places in Orange County.
I'm really excited about this.
In case you've never been to one of these spots, it's basically like a Chipotle, but for making a Pokeball. You'll choose a base, you'll choose sides, you'll choose your protein, and then you'll choose toppings.
We've never eaten here, but we're firmly in our Poke stage of life, and so this looks very, very good. I'm excited. Shout out to them having broccoli as a base too. I love that. Plus the wasabi mayo. Oh man, that's next level.
It's just so fresh. It's delicious.
This is a busy spot at lunchtime, so know that going in. And after we finished, it was only a 2-minute drive to our next stop.
Up next is the Lab and the Camp. It's a really fun place to go shopping with lots of unique stores and fun places to eat.
Known as the Lab Anti-Mall, this is one of those shopping places that I actually enjoy visiting myself. They describe themselves as an indoor-outdoor unconventional hangout place, and I have to say that's a great way to describe all of the different things that they have going on here.
This spot has lots of cool vibes.
They have many different boutiques, including tiny ones inside of Airstreams. They have coffee shops, restaurants, ice cream parlors. There's even an area known as the living room where you can just hang out in an indoor-outdoor space. Plus, there's all sorts of art installations around the project as well. It's especially cool if you like shopping, but even if you don't, it's still a fun place to walk around.
Got our coffee, did a little shopping, now heading on.
Leaving the Lab, it was about a 30-minute drive to our next stop, Laguna Beach. This is one of my favorite areas in Orange County, but a place I never go to on the weekend, and so I was excited to visit on a weekday in the winter. We went through the city and then headed up into the mountains to go to Alta Laguna Park and a place known as Top of the World. So you can actually hike all the way up to the top of the world where we're going right now from the bottom, but it is pretty steep, so know that going in. This is only like a 5-minute walk to get to the viewpoint. Check out those views of the ocean. It is pretty incredible up here. It is a really good hike that I've done a few times, but it is nice just to walk up there quickly from the parking area. Plus, Amy had never seen it before, so I wanted to make sure she saw it on this trip.
It's amazing. I can't believe I've never seen this view before, and it's so calm and flat today.
We really did get the perfect day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and you could clearly see all the way out to Catalina Island. If you didn't know, Pops and I actually hiked all the way across Catalina Island, and I will link to that video in the description. As we're sitting here taking in the view, Amy, what is your favorite beach in Orange County?
I'd have to say Crystal Cove. I grew up going there and love the tide pools.
My favorite beach is probably anything in Laguna. There's a lot of amazing ones, but the next place we're going to is definitely one of my favorites. Also, I have a list of all of my favorite beaches in Orange County in the description. From there, we headed back down the hill and onto Pacific Coast Highway to go to our sunset spot at Victoria Beach. This is an amazing beach to go to, but it is difficult to get to. You have to park on PCH if you can find a parking spot. You have to walk down here, you have to find this little path, and then you take it down to get to the beach, and then you go over to see the Pirate Tower. It's worth it though. Of course, Victoria Beach by itself is amazing, but the main draw here is the Pirate's Tower. If you want to see it, make sure you bring shoes as you have to traverse the rocks to get over to it. Once you come around the bend, you'll see the Pirate Tower out in the distance, and do note that it can be inaccessible during high tide as well. I forgot to check the tide schedule before I came out, but this was the lowest tide I'd ever seen here, so we definitely got lucky. This tower was built in 1926 and was used as a staircase to get down to the beach. Then it was sold to a retired naval captain in the 1940s, and he used to like to dress up in pirate's clothing and hold scavenger hunts and do a lot of fun things for the neighborhood children, which led to it being called the Pirate's Tower.
Such a unique thing to see on the beach. I can't believe I've never seen this before, growing up here.
Actually, some pretty good tide pooling right now. Got all the sea anemones down there.
I can't tell you how many times I've been here, and every time when I come around that bend and I see the Pirate's Tower, it is so cool. And I've never been here for sunset, so I'm excited to see it today. There are about a dozen or so people here with us taking pictures, but as the sun continued to go down, basically everyone left and it was only Amy and I who were remaining. And looking back on these shots, it feels almost like we were in a fairy tale movie.
This is a pretty dreamy place for sunset.
I honestly can't think of a more perfect sunset I've ever seen in Orange County. It is just calm waters, there's not very many people here, and just incredible views. This is next level. Here's just a couple more clips as the sun was going down. That was an amazing sunset, especially having that place all to ourselves. Now we're heading on to get something to eat. After the sun went down, we headed back into downtown Laguna Beach to go to Carmelita's for dinner. This is one of the top-rated dinner spots in the city, and neither Amy and I had ever been. Of course, it's Laguna Beach, so note you're probably going to be spending $20 to $30 a person for dinner. They started us with chips and salsa and a bean dip, and then they recommended a sampler platter to share, which is what we chose.
I mean, I didn't realize we were ordering this feast. This is incredible. Look at all this stuff we got.
Amazing. I wish I had a bigger stomach right now.
I don't even know where to start, even though it's probably going to be at the corn.
This was a huge win. It had 4 different types of meat, and then it had tortillas, and it had beans and rice and salsa on the side. It was a lot of food, and we were able to take it home and have it for lunch the next day as well. That was a good spot for dinner. Getting that sampler platter so we could try everything, 2 thumbs up. Now we have one more thing to do before we end this video. To end the night, we left Laguna Beach and drove 30 minutes to Irvine.
Our last stop of the night, the Speakeasies.
Amy and I are huge fans of Speakeasies, and luckily Orange County has a whole bunch of them. This one was called Cozy Pine, and it was camping inspired, and it's one we had never been to before.
This place is really good. I like the vibe already.
When you walk in, it feels like you're camping in the woods with enamel cups, Bigfoot on the wall, and even some small cabins off to the side. This is a tiny spot though, and it could probably only hold about 15 to 20 people max. My drink was s'mores inspired with a graham cracker bourbon, and so they brought it out with marshmallows on top and even lit the marshmallow on fire.
My drink is still on fire.
And then Amy chose a Girl Scout inspired cookie drink. As we leave the Speakeasy and before ending this video, I wanted to share 2 other bars that I love in Orange County with you. First up, in the Anaheim Packing House is the Blind Rabbit. This is Orange County's premier speakeasy, and you definitely need to get reservations at least a few weeks in advance for this one. It's super fun though, and the drinks here are incredible. About 5 minutes away from that is Strong Water, which is a tiki bar, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know how much I love tiki bars. This is a spot Amy and I go to a few times a year, and I love the vibes here, including the cups that they serve the drinks in. And with that, our day in Orange County is complete. Hopefully you enjoyed exploring with us. We'll see you on the next one.